So we're going to do an unboxing and then a reboxing of one sculpture, just so we can see how it's done, and we'll take you through all the different steps and so on. This is just one of 120 sculptures, each in its own box, made for shipping and storage. So you can take the screws out with a number 2 red rubby screwdriver, and you will see that there are screws all over the place. It's just the screws at the very bottom of the raised section that comes down. On smaller boxes like this, there's 2. On larger boxes, there's a 3rd one in the middle. You might find that some holes have X's in them. That's where they've been stripped over the years. You'll find that there's usually a screw next to it, but you can only take the screws in and out so many times before that happens. Now, you can use a screwdriver, but it takes time. So instead, we are going to use a drill, or in this case, actually, it's a driver. But you don't need to do this. This just makes it faster. Just make sure that when you're taking it out, it's going the right direction first. Put it in, and you don't need to take the screws out all the way. Again, take 2 out on the smaller boxes, a 3rd one in the middle otherwise, again, just along the bottom. Just like that. And that should be enough now to take off the top. Now, you'll notice that there is a mark here in yellow. There's similarly a mark just here on the styrofoam that will remind you that when you're putting the lid back on again, that is where it goes. Okay, those match up. But otherwise, generally, the picture on the box of the sculpture goes at the head end. Now, you will find that it's held on in several places. One is there's a picture hook that's just in there. And we'll just bring that up close so you can see that. Hopefully you can see that there's a picture hook under there. You can also see that there is a seat belt, we call it. That's across the front here. Okay, and this is like it's hanging on a wall. This is very strong, and it's partially attached into the, or pushed into the styrofoam, and that's why it's held very carefully. Now, you also find that underneath most sculptures there is a placard that we used for the various exhibits. Now, as far as taking the seatbelt off, the way you can do that is you can just move it side to side, and it will slowly let go. Sometimes you can feed it in like this, and just release it enough that it no longer holds the styrofoam that again is there to protect the sculpture. If you then shift it, so now it's only being held on by the hook at the top, you can lift it up and off the hook, and now it'll come straight out. Okay, again, all this is just to protect the sculpture. There you are. There is the hanging hardware for holding it up. And to look a bit more closely, that is what it looks like without the sculpture. You'll see these little indents for where it was pulled in. There's a little hook that it hangs on. There's the seat belt. And of course, the material that keeps it from moving. Now, because all of the sculptures were a little bit different, you may also find that there's a little bit of pipe insulation that is sometimes wrapped around some of the corners just to keep it from rocking in the box. If you're planning to put it back in the box, just put them back in the right places. The easiest way though, and we're just going to put it back into the box so you can see how it's done, is first of all, make sure that the pink material's in the right place. We feed this through. The pink material then is lined up with the black strap, like that. Okay, but before we do that up, we have to make sure that the little wire underneath is on the hook again. And sometimes you have to stick your hand in from underneath. Sometimes you can reach through here. But the idea is to hook it like that again. So hopefully you can see that. So now it's hooked on. And again, you want to make sure that it's pushed that way. Okay, once it's there, again, just try to line up the pink material here, the insulation, and you should be able to just pull these tight across the middle. And when you're there, the thing to do is to snug it, then grab one end, and you can pull it really tight. It is not going to break anything, and it'll just keep things really solid. It means now that as I lift it up from the sculpture itself, you'll find it does not move. Okay? You'll find that it is also still on the little hook. Okay? Now, don't try this at home, but you'll find that you can shake this around as much as you want. It is not going anywhere. Now, if you're going to put it back the way it was before, of course, you're going to take the little plaque. It goes back underneath, just like that. And again, the box goes back on the picture end with a little yellow mark, or it's sometimes red or blue. There's a little mark here on the styrofoam as well. Line those up so that all the screw holes match. Okay, and that should go all the way down, just like that. And as long as you're on a flat surface, everything should match up. And then reversing your drill so it goes the right direction. And don't over tighten these, they will strip. You're just going to drive them back in like that. And again, try not to over tighten them if you can. Over the years, many people have done this. And so sometimes they get a little over tight. Again, when you're finished, you should be able to pick it up, give it a little shake. If nothing moves, you've done it perfectly. Thank you very much.